Hey there, good morning. Well, morning here. Welcome to March 9th, 2025. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the various challenges and opportunities that I met. I recite the 8 objectives of my creed, I plan for my coming day, and then I kick off the day in earnest. This usually almost invariably happens in the alone hours, which is a very important time for me to collect and gather my thoughts. It's also when my mind is at its sharpest. So with that, let's get started. Before I begin, let me welcome my new YouTube subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Please understand that even though my channel is operating out of Japan, this particular video series, the Good Life series, which you can determine by the title name always, and the fact that it happens every day live at around this time every morning, and it always usually has a thumbnail with my face on it. These are not Japan focused videos. These are diary journal entries, if you want. Particularly related to a book that I wrote called Going Alone, which outlines my personal life strategy. I call it my creed. So if that's not your kind of thing, then watch out for these videos. If you're a new subscriber, they'll pop up on your feed every day. Likely if YouTube throws them your way, you can skip them if you're not interested. But you're welcome to join me if you like, if you're curious to have a look at how I handle the difficulties and the good points of my day-to-day life. Also, I want to warn you that I do talk about controversial subjects here. I talk about death almost every video. I sometimes talk about my lack of religion, which both topics, death and my atheism, seem to be unsettling to people. So if you're not interested in those, then maybe this video isn't a good fit for you either. And finally, I want to give a hearty thank you to my supporters, those on YouTube, my members, my supporters on Patreon, and those who watch my videos because you bought me my coffee this morning. This is the M size, drip hot black coffee here at Mini Stop convenience store in Japan. Lastly, comments I do read, but I wait until the end so that I can have an uninterrupted flow of string of thoughts. And then when I'll get to the comments at the end, I do apologize for ignoring comments until then. Let's get started. And I always keep a notebook every day, and I give each day a date, and which of course it has on its own, and a name. And I'm calling today Soft Sunday. It is Sunday here in Japan. And maybe I'll be able to explain why it's soft, although it probably won't seem soft. I'll explain it now. It won't seem soft when I get to my forward-looking part of this exercise because I have a lot going on today, but it feels soft. It feels soft compared to this last week, which was a hard week. If you follow my videos, I had a difficult week. By the way, if you're new, I'm 60 years old, married to a Japanese woman. Our daughter is grown. I'm newly retired. We just bought a house here in Japan, and there you go. Now that's the whole me. And if you've been following my story, you'll know that 11 weeks into retirement, I was asked to work a couple of jobs, a couple of hours teaching English this week, and to do so on a repeated weekly basis going forward for a couple of months, which really didn't sit well with me. I agreed to it, and I didn't realize what a negative experience that would be. So the reason that this is Soft Sunday is I think I've gone through the other side of that. I'm on the other side now, and the deep unease that I felt going back to work, particularly going back to work teaching English, has passed. So let's carry on. So the last 24 hours, the only thing that I have here that's of any note is, and remember this exercise, I talk about the positives and the negatives both. This is an interesting one that I had a note here about a mindful cadence, What that means is that throughout the day yesterday, and it was a busy day, full of lots of productive activities related to our new house that we bought in Japan. Throughout the day, I had like a process running in my head, looking at every activity, saying, this is a task in an overall comprehensive day of tasks that need to be complete. It was exactly like what I remember it being like being an assistant cook at a restaurant, where we would have multiple orders being prepared for various tables in the restaurant, and I would, as an assistant cook, I would be doing prep work and also getting things from the refrigerator unit and the storage unit, and also liaisoning with the floor staff. And it was exactly like that. I had all of these irons in the fire, and my brain was tasking all of them at once, like, doing a little bit of here, a little bit of there, everything. Normally, on a free day, I do the same thing at work in my career, when I had a career. As a project manager, I would typically run 3 projects, an average of 3 projects at a time. One giant project and then 2 smaller projects. And I would always, of course, have my irons in the fire of all the different projects, just like I did when I was an assistant cook in the restaurant. Although the assistant cook in the restaurant is a more tactile example. Normally on my days off, it's not like that. I'm kind of floating, from one thing to another, kind of sometimes looking to my wife, especially when our daughter was young, for looking to my wife for guidance about how we were going to pursue our Saturday or Sunday or holiday or whatever it was, because she usually knew better than me, because we raised our daughter in her small years here in Japan, what our daughter's schedule was, because our lives revolved around our daughter's needs then. But yesterday was kind of a strange thing because it was a solid day off, a Saturday. Yet I was administering the day with the due diligence of a Tuesday. And I was, when I was employed, I was a very good worker, very diligent, ambitious, very upbeat and positive. Although I could be a son of a gun when I needed to protect the scope of my projects or the budget or the interests of my stakeholders or sponsors or customers. And I felt exactly the same way yesterday, because what I did yesterday was I worked in the garden. I did a number of tasks in the garden. We took care of the dogs. We received IKEA furniture and assembled it. I liaisoned with our accountant in America. It was Friday over there, about our upcoming taxes. And I had a couple of discussions with my wife about important subject matters, as well as my sister-in-law during our dog walks. Each of those things was attended to in the same way that I used to attend to it when I was working. And that was a really interesting discovery, to suddenly be treating my free days, because every day is a free day now that I'm retired, I'm treating my free days with the attendance of my working self, and I liked it. That was a good experience. This also helped me to stay on top of my emotional reactions when things didn't go well. It's been a lifelong challenge for me, because I'm the kind of person that I usually set the stage for a very positive outcome. And when things don't go positively, when I was younger, I would get very upset, disappointed, or depressed about things. It's not that way anymore. I set myself up now to expect the unexpected, more or less. I still hope for that goal, but I am looking out for the unexpected and ready to act accordingly with contingency plans, or contingency plans that I've either formulated ahead of time or that I have put together on the spot. So even though I only have one thing to note for yesterday, this mindful cadence, this is a very significant change in the way I was doing things since I came back to Japan, since I retired. Because since I retired, I've been on vacation mode. You go to Hawaii and you wake up in the morning and you follow your nose to the buffet, and then you follow the sound of the waves down to the beach, and then you follow your tour guide book to the activities of the day. But you can only do that. I can only do that for so long. I don't like being untethered from a responsible routine. So I've begun to assemble a responsible routine, including I found myself yesterday thinking about how to add the third wheel to my YouTube channel. Third wheel. I have two wheels now. I have the two video series, the Retiring in Japan series, which I upload daily, and then the Good Life series, which I upload daily, this video right here. But there's a third one, the most important to me, is my going alone book readings. You know, it's a book. Going alone is my life's work after my daughter. My daughter is my life's work, but my book Going Alone is my other life's work, and that book is complete. And one of the primary utilization that I want to make of my retired years, in terms of the embracing of a decided purpose, is the promotion, not to sell and make money necessarily, although that's nice, but to sell, because I think it can be helpful to people, my book, or at least the message within the book, because the book can be read for free at my website, goingalone.org. And if it sounds like I'm trying to promote the book, I am. But again, you don't have to buy it, you can read it for free. Because I wrote the book to be helpful. So I was actually working on that yesterday too, trying to think of how I can begin to add those video series, because I will be reading the book live on the channel, and that's sure to drive people away, new subscribers who find me because of the Japan content, and they're like, what the heck is this guy reading a book? Yeah, they're gonna unsubscribe in droves. So be it. Okay, so that's that for the last 24 hours. For my creed, the creed consists of 8 objectives, which are things that I want to do to constitute living a good life. That's why I call this the good life. The good life is the life that I live, a life that I live in accordance with the following 8 objectives. And these 8 objectives are, number 1, to be always ready to die. That means I need to have my affairs in order, my relationships sound, and my life's work in a steady state or complete. And I always ask myself, am I in that condition? Yes, I am. My affairs are in order. My taxes are for 2024 are in process, but that's pretty much a given. It's easy. Yeah, the accountant's taking care of it all. Just got to write her a check. So my affairs are in order. My relationships are indeed sound, and my life's work is complete. My daughter is raised, and my book is written. My life's work is done. Now, that doesn't mean I'm done. I'm going to now spend the rest of my life promoting the book. So I got a lot of work ahead. But at least if I die now, I can die having satisfied my life objectives. So my first objective, to be always ready to die, is in good state. If I die today, and you don't see another one of these tomorrow, know that I didn't die with any backwards glances, right? I went out. I will endeavor to go out without a single backwards glance. Number 2 is to make good and effective use of my time, to not waste my days. That's why I'm up early. That's why I work hard. That's why I plan. That's why I keep notes. I endeavor to squeeze the most juice out of every day that I can, most wholesome and invigorating, wholesome and satisfying juice. 4 is to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and number 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. That's these 8 objectives in the attendant 35 principles. So I work on them by thinking about them. 4 is to cultivate good emotional reactions, to become a man who reacts well when things don't go my way. 5, to perform good actions relative to my values. And my values describe good actions as actions that facilitate the improvement of the well-being of thinking creatures, basically reducing suffering and improving happiness and peace. Or I should say reasonable happiness and peace. You need a little qualifier there, right? Number 6 is to recognize my true limits and my true opportunities, so that I'm not asking more of myself than I can achieve, nor am I failing to engage within the scope of my capabilities in the brief bits of time that I have remaining in life. Number 7 is to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, just like I try to do this exercise, deliberately, noting out what I'm going to do, following my bullet points, checking things off as I go, and then proceeding without undue haste or sloth. And number 8, finally, the last objective is to keep my balance, which means maintaining both my mental and physical equanimity in spite of the weathering, blustering changes that are occurring around me. It's interesting to observe how much easier it is to maintain my balance at age 60 than it was at 50 or 40 or 30. Oh my goodness, what a blustering mess I was at 25. No, I wouldn't wish myself back on any decade, even if I could have all those years again, just because I enjoy the satisfaction of the mind that I have at 60. Maybe this helps to explain why so few oldsters seem to pine for the past. They may long for the nostalgia that they remember, but so few of them seem like they would genuinely be interested in going back into their own past if they had to be saddled with the baggage of youth or midlife again. No, thank you. Okay, that's that for that. Now, for the next 24 hours, which just begins now, there's 3 things that are going on today. One, our contract. Remember, we bought a house, not a new house, an old house that we're remaking in our own image. And our contractor is coming by today to bring by the quote and estimate for the remake of our Japanese bath and and the changing room, laundry room. So we'll see him for that. We have a couple of other things we want to ask him about. Also, I'm expecting to get an email from my accountant in America either today or tomorrow with details about my 2024 taxes, which I'm a little late in filing because we were so busy in February with the house purchase. But my taxes are pretty straightforward, so she should have it ready soon. And if you see this, thank you, my accountant. And then third, I'm working on trying to find a way to incorporate going alone into the formal activities of my YouTube presence, which would be the main aim of YouTube in coming back to Japan. And with that, that's that. Check, check, check. My good life meditation is complete. Let's read any messages. There are no messages this morning. All right, I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Talk to you tomorrow if you want to join me. See ya.